Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working our way through the Rape of Lucrece, which sounds a little bit weird, but it's an epic poem. And it is an epic poem about sexual violence towards women. So if that's a trigger for you, please tune out and come back in a couple months when we're done with this poem. But if you want to keep going, the next couple stanzas that we're going to look at are stanzas 49 to 52. And at this point in the poem, Sextus Tarquinius is at Caladium and he wants to sleep with Lucrece, but he's been going back and forth with himself. Should he do it? Should he not do it? He's friends with Colotinus, all this sort of stuff, but he's so driven by lust that he feels that he has to go and do this anyway. So he has snuck out of his room in the middle of the night to go to her bedroom so that he can have his way with her. And every step of the way he's running into obstacles. You know, the wind almost blows out his torch and it's blowing smoke in his face and all these doors are creaking and locked and all this sort of stuff. And he's seeing those as obstacles to be surmounted that'll make the prize even sweeter, as opposed to, you know, omens that maybe he shouldn't be doing this. And then stanza 49 picks up by saying, "Now is he come unto the chamber door that shuts him from the heaven of his thought, which with a yielding latch and with no more hath barred him from the blessed thing he sought. So from himself impiety hath wrought, that for his prey to pray he doth begin, as if the heavens should countenance his sin. But in the midst of his unfruitful prayer, having solicited the eternal power that his foul thoughts might compass his fair, as they would stand auspicious to the hour, even there he starts. Quoth he, I must deflower. The powers to whom I pray abhor this fact. How can they then assist me in the act? Then love and fortune be my gods, my guide. My will is backed with resolution. Thoughts are but dreams till their effects be tried. The blackest sin is cleared with absolution. Against love's fire, fear's frost hath dissolution. The eye of heaven is out, and misty night covers the shame that follows sweet delight." This said, his guilty hand plucked up the latch, and with his knee the door he opens wide. The dove sleeps fast that this night owl will catch. Thus treason works ere traitors be espied. Who sees the lurking serpent steps aside, but she, sound sleeping, fearing no such thing, lies at the mercy of his mortal sting. So he's made it to her bedroom, and the first stanza says, you know, he's made it this far, and there's just one more little latch that needs to be opened. So he takes a minute to say a prayer for her, thinking that that will somehow make this whole thing forgivable. And he starts it out by saying, you know, I have to do this. I have to rape her, but the powers that I normally pray to don't like rape, so I'm going to turn to love and fortune instead, and they're going to back me, and everything's going to be fine because, you know, it's misty outside, so nobody's going to be able to see what I'm doing, and it's going to feel so good that the shame will be hidden by the misty night, and okay, I'm good to go. So then he opens the latch of the door, he uses his knee to push the door open, and then the next 5 lines, the last 5 lines that we looked at today, talk about her, calls her a dove, calls him a night owl, and says that, just really emphasizes how much he's creeping up on her and how much he's invading her space and how innocent she is. And it, you know, he makes the reference of, if you see a snake coming at you, you move, but she doesn't see that. She's sleeping and she thought that she was safe, because they had had this lovely conversation earlier in the evening, and she greeted him as an honored guest, and he is her husband's friend. So she has no idea that he is now sneaking into her bedroom to force himself upon her. And so all she's going to be able to do is react once it actually happens. So it's building that tension of, we've been building the tension as he's been walking through the house, but now it's very specific, focused tension on, you know, sort of, if only she could have woken up. at this point. At least that's the way that I'm taking it. So anyway, that's 49 to 52. Tune on in tomorrow for 53 to 56. Is that what that's going to be? Yeah, 53 to 56. And we'll see. We're getting close to some bad things happening. So be forewarned, as if you couldn't already tell by the name of the poem. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.